What is up? What is up, y'all? Coming to the live. I hardly go live here on YouTube. That's a damn shame. It's absolutely a damn shame. Anyways, what is up, y'all? What is good? What's going on? What is going on? So, I have taken the opportunity. Basically, we're just going to take this opportunity to, go into the live. And this coming week, I will be going into the live a little bit more often when it comes to this platform, YouTube, where I have longer form content, and of course, also just to have that exchange with you all. So the thing that I wanted just to offer in this live is, of course, chit chat, Q&A, and definitely just looking back at videos that I've already created and the response that I'm getting on those videos, especially on other platforms where there is, where I share snippets of the video that I create here on YouTube, where I have, um, dialogue with people, they respond to it, they give their, 2 cents to that. And that is basically something that I'm really looking forward to, for people to give their 2 cents on what it is that I create, about this artistic journey that I have, about me being an artist, and all of the things that I come across. So let me just make myself comfortable. Ooh, gee. Let me just make myself comfortable. So yeah, basically the last video that I've posted about exposure, what I'm noticing is that, excuse me, what I'm noticing is that on TikTok, a lot of people have gone, have responded on it. Good considerable amount of people have responded on it. Good response on it, and also people just really commenting to what exposure is, what free exposure is, based on the snippet of the video that I've posted here on YouTube, which I think is absolutely great, because it gives opportunity for people not just to, just to see my content and just to consume it. It's great if you consume it. It's actually the purpose of you to consume it in the way of watching with it. But my intention is that you also interact with the content, so that you get to see what it's about. You think about what it is that you see. Does it move you? Do you think it's interesting? Do you want to know more about it? Do you relate to it? Because the only way that you can engage with content is basically by relating to it. So the coming 10 minutes, I do definitely want to make, this opportunity to make it happen in this live, just to go back to what it is that I've posted. So the weekly videos that I post on YouTube talk a lot about what I do. And in the last video, I talked about exposure, and I've mentioned a couple of factors that you need to weigh in to whether exposure is really good for you, right? We are now all in the space, in the area where everybody just gets to be seen and be heard, and everybody wants to be seen and everybody wants to be heard. um, People want to get there quickly, as quick as possible. We do not want to take any shortcuts. We do not want to make things hard for ourselves or on ourselves. And that means, right, if I can get the exposure of any party, any third party that wants to work with me or can do the work for me, that is, is gold. These days, having a network of media outlets, and having a good relationship with them, or maybe having people in, magazines, newspapers, still the written physical media outlets are still popular. They're still popular. Having that as an outlet to really help you get into that space, who doesn't want that? More often than not, we do have to look at ways on how we expose ourselves, and what exposure is really for us, and how it really can benefit us. I I see in the response that I'm getting back from that people are really, I wouldn't say that they are hesitant for it, to get that free exposure, but people are now questioning it even more so. because artists are still being seen and are a vulnerable group. We are a vulnerable group, and the reason why we are so vulnerable in this is because many of us are not sitting with representation, meaning we don't have an art agency, we don't have an art management bureau, or we don't have um, an art gallery to do the work for us, to do the talking for us, to speak in such a way. It can also be that we do not have a publicist, because that is actually the work of a publicist. When it comes to exposure and how you brand yourself to your audience and how the audience engages with that, um, more so public relations, that goes more in the direction of having a publicist. It is also even advised that most businesses, when they develop themselves and they really want to have that exposure, that you work with a publicist. The publicist makes sure that your name is being seen by the right people so that you get an audience that fits what it is that you're offering, your service, your product, whatever it is that you got to offer. So a publicist really can be a great relationship that you can develop in that. But not every artist has that possibility. You either don't have the time, you don't have the budget, you don't have the network, or all three, and even more of that. So what you get is that a lot of people are maybe, not maybe, they definitely are hesitant, or the opposite, as I explained in the video. You become very thirsty for that. You become thirsty and say, if I can get that exposure, it can put me to the places where I am. Go watch the video. If you haven't watched the video, this is popping up on your feed. This is popping up on your Explorer page on YouTube. And you're like, well, what type of video is it that you're talking about right now? I'm saying that type of video is the video where I talk about exposure. It's the latest video. And there you will find great gems, because I'm giving you a couple of factors that you have to weigh into your decision to determine whether you want to deal with that type of exposure. Another interesting thing that I want to add to that video is very interesting, very, very crucial. Okay, very crucial. And that is the fact that you do have to weigh in what it is available to you. That is something that I've not mentioned in the video. And I think as an addition to that video, getting or having resources that allow you to be at the fullest of your capacity. If you do not have those resources, or temporarily you don't have the resources, at the moment you don't have the resources, it's going to take a while for you to get those resources. And one of the most well-known resources that we all would like to have and would like to expand on is the financial resources. Then you definitely are in a place where you're like, I don't know if this is going to work for me. Don't know if this is going to work for me. I don't know if I, can choose the exposure that I really would love for me to have, or I can invest into the exposure in such a way that either I am educated and informed on how I go about it, or that is handed to someone else who is a professional, who's an expert for that. So resources also plays a factor into that. Resources plays so much a factor into that. So what is the solution for that? Because I give a lot of solutions also in the previous video, in the YouTube video that I've posted. But one of the ways of financial resources that you can expand on is, of course, most known. Go for grants. Apply yourself for grants. If you do not know, or you do not understand the language, or have a hard time to figure out how you can set yourself up for success, getting those grants and loans, well, not loans, it's more grants, subsidies. You can actually then talk to other people. What is it that you need to pay attention to? How do you construct something? A very important thing when it comes to being in that particular process is getting feedback on what it is that you have done, what you have submitted. If it is possible for you to get the feedback, ask the feedback, because that's going to help you in the process, and then also understand how you better ask for the resources that you need in this particular case. So when it comes to grants and applications, But then we have other financial resources that you need to look into. Maybe you need to look into how you can expand your current business, your business model. Maybe you are very depending on only selling original work, right? Just to give an example, the painting that have here behind me, if I'm only depending on selling those original paintings, that is giving too much space and margin to the time, right? Because it can be now, but it can also take a lot of time. And we all know that, especially if you're creative and artist. So that is not helping in any way at all. Maybe there is a possibility for you to also offer workshops to expand in your financial resources. Maybe it's also possible for you to offer um, other art products and services, right? Workshops being one of them. Think about what might work in your own lane. If you need more information about that, you can definitely hit me up here below in the comment section, or even go to my website, hit me up with the email and just type in, hey, MCJ Art Studio, tell me a little bit more on how I can expand to that. And then I definitely can set up like, maybe like a brainstorming session, or definitely like a session up where those resources can be seen and how you can look at that. So it helps to sit down with somebody else who has like, can brainstorm and think along with you in that particular direction, especially if you are stuck in a certain area or a certain way. But a lot of it, the factors that I've mentioned in my previous video, and now the one that I'm adding to that, financial resources, just come into play when it comes to financial, having those resources available so that you can ask for the exposure that you want. If you do not have those financial resources at place, then it becomes your mental, intellectual resources. Okay. Something that I've learned is if you don't have the budget, you have to learn it. Then you have the time to learn it. If you don't have the budget, you have the time to learn it. If you don't have the representation yet, or the help or the assistance yet that can help you through that, you have the time to learn it. I don't want to fault anybody, and I definitely want to leave a bad taste in anybody's mouth, but I'm just going to say it though. And that is, if you do not give yourself the opportunity to make use of the free resources that are out there, like social media, for instance, um, you're missing out on a lot of things. You're really missing out on a lot of things. I'm building a platform, I'm building a community that really can support you in your endeavors, in what it is that you want to do, and set yourself up for success. Eventually, the community that you're building is built on your playground. And that is also a great thing when it is that you do not have to, depend on other people to do it for you. You build on your own playground when you make use of social media and have systems at set, or have methods in place that help you guide the people to your space, to your own studio, to your own um, playground. That is definitely something that you have to take into consideration. But that's for another. That's for another video, people. That's for another video. So yeah, that is the thing that I actually wanted to add, in this live, to give my 2 cents on that. I always like to look back. What did I share? Is there something that I can still add to it? How are there great ways for me to give that to you? Maybe through a live, or maybe through an extended version of the video, like a part 2. Just to make sure that you are guiding yourself in the right way, and you create your own map, you create your own space, and really equip yourself for the thing that you are going for. So if there are any questions, maybe you got some comments, you can put them here below in the comment section. I would love to see them, love to read about them. Again, this is a community that's interactive, so I really would love to have the feedback on it. So that's just it. That's the reason why I jumped on. Y'all going to see me next time here on the live, and talking about maybe another great topic, another chit chat topic, and a Q&A. And the Q&A is, of course, for the people that are live during the time that I'm live. Then you can ask questions and do things like that. If there are no questions, and it's more chit chat. Just so you know. This is it. This is all. I am out because other work to do. The work continues. All right, the work continues. I will see you either in another live, but definitely in another weekly video here on MCJ Art Studio. See y'all soon. Follow me on every single social media platform that I'm on: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and also go to my website where you can join the newsletter. The newsletter is the place where you definitely get all of the great things. And for the good exclusive part, the exclusive videos, the exclusive content, got the Patreon. Got the Patreon. Because trust me, I'm not sharing everything on this platform. There's so much that I'm not sharing, and so much that I would like for you, and especially people that really want to delve into it, that I can share on that Patreon. Enough talk. See y'all next time. Looking for your response. Bye, y'all.